Hello, everybody. Can y'all hear me? See me? Welcome.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you and I can see you.
Okay, good, but I cannot see you.
I'm getting it going. Hold on, it's being a little slow. There we go.
There you are. Hi.
It gave me that whole, do you agree to this? Well, yes, of course I agree to it.
I know we're trying something new. It's a little bit different. Thank you. Welcome, Raven. We're excited to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Um, uh, you can't access the mic. It's okay. If you type any questions you may have, or if anything happens and you really want to know about it, that is fine. We're perfectly good with you typing it in, even if you can't talk. Communicate. Just let us know what's going on with you. That's the main thing. Yay! No, this is exciting. I know that we might probably have a lot of people that have some questions about what's going on with getting stuff paid. So we're going to start in a minute. Just bear with us for a little bit. We still have a few more minutes, and we're going to wait because we have some people trying to get back in. So we're going to give a few more people. Hi, Amanda. Welcome. Can you see us and hear us well? I hope you can. You can type in the chat if you'd like. We're waiting for a few more minutes before we begin. And we're gonna get the party started. That's it. Trying to see what's going on over here. Yay! Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for letting us know that you can see us and hear us. And welcome, Arlena. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Okay. Oh. Hi, Tonita. I don't know if you can. Did she come in? I saw her. Okay. I'm sure she'll come in a second. We have about 2 more minutes before we go live. Welcome. Hi, it's nice to see you, Elena. Thank you for showing your face. It makes it more fun for us. I mean, we don't force anybody, but it is a lot more fun for us if we actually have a face to the name. It really does. Really, really does. Okay. Okay, we have a few, like 1 more minute, and then we're going to get the party started. So just hang tight. I want to change. And I forgot I have to change this. One brief change, and then we're going to start. I need to change you. Come on. Come in. Why won't you change the name? I just. Yeah. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Almost there. Honestly, I'm going to try something new, and we're going to see if this works or not. Never done it before, so just bear with me. This is the first time you're using this program to do this. I've done it with others. We're about to learn something new. Wait, I can't. I forgot. I can't. Almost. Almost. Now we're gonna start. Okay. Everybody ready? We're gonna do something. Yes. See, this works. Something went wrong. No. Okay. All right, everybody, whatever. We're going to make it work no matter what. We have you here. We're going to make it happen. Welcome to our show. Woo! We are super excited that you are here. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and it's my job to officially welcome you to the college campus. And hopefully you have a great experience in the process. We're super excited about the possibility of you guys being here and hopefully getting some answers to any questions that you might have with regards to financial aid. That could include financial aid, veteran services, a little bit of dabble in scholarships, and just anything else that you might have a question about. We're here to help answer anything that may be going on to the best of our abilities. We really appreciate you being here today. We're super excited. Let us know how we can help. But in the meantime, I have to introduce my collaborators, the ones that make me happy, because they're the ones with all the knowledge. I am just in the background looking cute. Or not, whatever. We have Stacy Pritt, who it works with finance. I keep forgetting what your title is because it's like deputy or assistant or
It's
something like that.
associate director, something, something, something. I'm supposed to
Of
be important, but who knows?
in financial aid.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have Jennifer Stembridge is going to be talking about VA because I'm just going to botch up her title as well. Uh, but these are the two people that I work with the most whenever it comes time to, hey, I need help helping a student with one of these issues. They're the people that know what's going on. Let's start talking about it. If you have questions, please go ahead and type them to the chat. We will address them as we go to the best of our ability. So let's get this parted started.
Jen, you want to go off first, or you want me to start things off? What do you want to do? She just leave me hanging.
She just left you hanging. So guess what,
She
Stacy?
just left me hanging. Did you see
She just
that?
left. I did. She just left.
I
Um,
feel abandoned.
well, I think that means that we're going to talk about financial aid and stuff that's been going on with financial aid. So can you please? I know that there's a lot of questions about financial aid lately because there's been
Mm-hmm.
some glitches and some things happening. Welcome back, Jennifer.
Thank
Um,
you. Now that
but Stacy's
I'm
gonna
over here
start.
in the spotlight. I saw that. I saw that. I saw what you did there. So we did have a little bit of a glitch with the Pell zeroing out for some students. This happened because the Department of Education did something and caused a glitch in our system. This was nationwide. It wasn't just CTC. Colleges across the globe were affected by this if they use the same system we do. So what happened was it caused a lot of Pels to go to zero, even though they were awarded. So we've attempted to get all the students fixed that this happened to. However, we're still running into a couple of them here and there, onesies, Tuesdays that are having the issue. If you're still having the issue, give us shoot us an email, give us a phone call. We'll get you fixed up. We'll be able to get your funds dispersed as soon as possible. That's our biggie right now. Our second biggie is scholarship is open for 25, 26. Those are our two biggies that we need to make sure everybody knows about. Scholarships are available through the scholarship portal. I think it's Award Spring is what it's called. And those are our foundation scholarships. Those are for the fall 25, spring 26, summer 26 academic year. So, and those were closed at the end of February. So if you're planning on attending the following academic year, I strongly suggest going and applying for those. There's several that are out there that are available. Another thing is that work study applications are available. We have some openings across campus. If you're interested in being in work study, it's based off of your unmet need. And basically what the unmet need means is whatever you were awarded from us versus what the Department of Education says you need to go to college, anything that's left over in that unmet need area can qualify you to be a work study. So we have to look that up. But you're more than welcome to put in an application if you're wanting to work on campus part time. It's 19 and a half hours. We're required to work around your schedule. You must be enrolled in 6 credit hours at least. And then I think the pay rate, if I remember correctly, is a little over $10 an hour right now.
Yes. Great. We started the questions and I love it.
Yes.
Um, so let's see here. We have, can someone put the website in the chat? Yes. It depends. What kind of chat do you want? Like what website? Because that's the general one for Central Texas College. But if you're looking for something a little bit more specific, I want to make sure that we're addressing. Oh, for the scholarship. Yes. The scholarship's a little bit different.
I
So,
got it right
thank
here.
you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sometimes yeah, we can send you to the generic one, but that's not what you want. You want something a little bit more specific.
Yes.
So, we got you. All right. What else? Those are like the big ones right now, guys. I mean, even though
Yes.
you everybody started, there's a lot of stuff still going on, and we still have a few individuals I know in the Kate Center trying to come in, some people trying to still get registered into classes.
Yeah, and we
So,
have on-campus classes that start next week, and there's still late registration for those, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
hmm
And then, of course, we
yes.
have classes that start every month, online, and some of them are on campus. We have 8 week and 16 week. We have 12 week. So if you're still wanting to attend, there's nothing wrong with starting a little later.
That's exactly what I was going to say was that that's one of the best things about CTC is that there's always a start date coming up. we
That right
have our
there.
we have our like hard start dates for the beginning of terms, but there's a bunch in between too. So if you didn't get the deadlines for this first start date, let us know. We'll help you get started on that next start date.
Yeah, I remember being a, a student, several years ago, of course, but and I was a substitute teacher, so I would work my schedule around my substitute teaching. So I'd do like a 16-week course, and then I'd do like a couple of 8-week courses. So then I would have time to like bounce around a little bit. So that's the benefit to CTC is we really do have schedules that'll work around just about everybody's schedule.
Yeah, and this is a good question. My VEC is still processing with the VA. Will financial aid pick up the cost of my classes? And
If
that's a really, really great question because we have a lot of veterans that have submitted their VEC and it gets a little they get worried like are we good? Is there anything missing? So Jen, can you kind of address that, please? I know you kind of are already, but for
Yeah.
everybody.
So just to throw it all out there, with this start date, we had a higher than normal volume of VECs. And so, where we generally are able to process within 3 days or so, we're looking at about 5 to 6 business days right now. But we are working diligently to get that processed. Now, if you've already applied for financial aid and everything, because they do have, deadlines. It's not that you're not going to get processed, but even Stacy will tell you they can't guarantee that you're going to get it processed in time. I can tell you though that um, we have coded everybody who has submitted a VEC at this point. So you should be good until the census date of your classes. And we will definitely have things caught up by then as long, in the next week or so.
And census date is a date that we use to where we say, okay, this is officially how many students we have in class. Um, and usually for a 16-week course, it's about what, a week
I think it's like a
or
week,
two?
week and a half into the semester.
Yeah. So just you should be okay for now. If we have any issues, then we'll go ahead and address it. But I know I specifically dealt with a student today who was trying to do the same thing as everything that you guys are talking about. Um, and even he was just trying to get registered. And because he is in a Kate Center, in those classes, they start every Monday. There's a manual request from the department to try to get him in. They were trying to get a lot of people in from that for those departments too, that because those are more manual processes. So he was trying to get registered so he could get his VEC in, so everything will be good to go for next week. There's a lot going on, so I'm just gonna say right now, I was in a meeting yesterday, and it was a very important meeting about, just student success and how we can help students. And it just said basically, one of the things that we want to try to have our students do is make sure that you guys register for your classes earlier. We have a lot of individuals that are waiting to the last minute to um, register and get their stuff in. Of course, everybody's always going to have a moment when that happens, and we're not saying that we can't help you at that point, but we want to try to get our students to really start thinking about getting their classes in and paying, getting all their paperwork completed and everything else way earlier. So that way, if there is an issue, we have more time to deal with it and handle it. Now, like with financial aid, that was already resolved and it was fine. And that was a glitch in the system that we couldn't help. It was beyond our control. Things like that are going to happen. But when it's something in our end, we'll always try to figure out ways to kind of play around with it. But it makes it a little bit more difficult for us if we don't know what students are going to be in, or if we have too many at the last minute.
Yeah, it does cause a backlog when we have, a couple thousand students. Week one, we come back from Christmas break when they could have been finished back in December. Now, as far as when funds release for financial aid purposes, it is generally 10 days prior to class's start date. If you register for the class after those 10 days, sometimes our system takes a little while for it to register. Another problem we run into is you pick up a class, you drop class, pick up a class, drop class, pick up a class, drop class, pick up a class, drop class. You've confused the system. They think you're drunk. They're not going to give you any money. That's just the way the system works. It gets confused, so you got to give it a little while for it to work through all those picks ups and drops offs. Um, Now, if you are already approved for financial aid, Amanda, and you have already got your award letter, we will disperse funds for any classes that fall under your degree program, and those funds could be used to pay for your classes. Yes, the business office sees funds in there, and they will take them. That's usually how they work.
What about excess funds that are sitting in the students' accounts? When do those disperse to them?
The business office tells us that 30 days after classes start date is when they start processing them. That is not a guarantee that 30 days after your class start that I don't want to get a phone call saying, "Where's my money?" That is when they start processing them. And that is through the business office. That is not through our department. That is the business office that handles all the refunds that go out. If you do not have an account linked to your Eagle Self Service, I strongly suggest that you do so. Direct deposit is the fastest way you're going to get those refunds. If you wait for them to send you out a check, it's going to be another week to 2 weeks for you to get that refund. Another
And
thing
you
I want to point out is please cash those checks as soon as you get them. I have literally had 3 people come into my office in the last month that did not cash their checks 6 months ago, and now those funds are back to the Department of Education because after 6 months, the business office cancels those checks, and those funds have to be sent back to the Department of Education. So cash those checks when you get them.
And another thing I was going to add on there was you guys can see all of this in your Eagle Self-Service as well. So you can track if they've funded to your account through the school. You can track when you get when they are paying it to you. You can track all of that. So there's a lot of stuff you can do in your Eagle Self-Service. That's why it's self-service.
Yes.
And you can also make payments in there. So if you need to make a payment for something, you can do that all through Eagle Self-Service as well. Araceli, you're muted if you're trying to talk.
Thank you. Yes, I was. Great questions is what I was saying. You guys
Yep.
have had some really good questions. And so if you have anything else, please go ahead and type them into the chat. Let us know what your thoughts are so that we can try to address them as quickly as possible and maybe find out if we can help you in some way that we haven't thought about. Um, like I said, I've had the opportunity this morning of just helping a student try to figure out his classes and stuff. And sometimes things happen in the last minute and we're just trying to, help you and make it happen. So um, definitely let us know if there's anything else that we need to be aware of, if there's something that you need help with. Um, the fact that you're in here right now, please continue to come to, we have, like tomorrow, we're going to have a tutoring event. Please participate in that as well. It's very helpful for you because you're going to, if you participate in these events, you're actually going to be able to get better information. And my hope is that you're going to be way more successful during the semester. So then that way, um, when you're dealing with your financial aid, there isn't issues because you're not passing your classes, or with VA, the same thing that you're not, you're doing and you're getting um, the most bang out of your buck, so to speak, from the assistance that you're receiving.
Yes.
I see somebody.
Another thing.
Mhm.
Oh, I
No,
see
go ahead.
somebody typing, but I don't.
I
I don't
know.
see the
I'm
question.
excited.
I
I'm
just
like,
We're gonna get a whole book. That's good. I love that. I also wanted to point out that those of you that are close enough to campus to come and see us on the 22nd, we're having a hot cocoa and coffee social here at the VA slash FA departments. It'll be in Building 215 on campus, upstairs in the VA department. Um, it's going to be from 9 to 11. Is that correct, Jen? I'm looking at my calendar. I want to make sure I'm not giving the wrong information. We're going to have all kinds of goodies, some coffees, some different cocos, we even have sugar-free options for you guys that are zero sugar people, because I don't know about some of y'all, but I'm on the zero sugar kick. So come and see us, ask questions, meet some of our people.
ooh, we have a good question here.
Yes, you can use that money for purchasing books. You can either utilize it through the website, on the bookstore's website, using your student ID number, or if you come on campus and you have a student ID card, you utilize your student ID card to purchase your books. And then, yes, those funds will be sent to you, like I was talking about earlier. If you don't have an account linked to your Eagle self-service, I would strongly recommend that you do so that it is direct deposited, so that you don't have to worry about the check, because the check is going to take about 1 to 2 weeks longer for them to get it mailed out and sent to you.
Yeah. I cannot stress enough how important and how much better it is to actually put in your bank account into the system so that everything gets deposited to you. You
Yes.
will get it so much faster. You'll have access to anything that you don't use either for tuition or books or materials will definitely be beneficial for you if you get it quickly. That's the fastest way that you're gonna get any kind of money from CTC, whether it be a refund, check, or anything of that nature. Um,
And typically, most of the funds that we release, they do get refunded. There are a few scholarships that are not a balance check issued. So that means that if you have a scholarship that doesn't give you a balance, typically it rolls over either to the next semester or it gets sent back to whoever provided the scholarship once that semester is over.
yes. There's another question here. I'm I don't know, can you guys maybe like should we show us the screen and maybe guide them to where they can get the scholarship?
Let me see if I can bring it up here real quick, and then I'll share.
Okay. Well, can you show them from the main webpage how
Yes.
to navigate? Because that's usually something that helps our students if they can actually see the navigation for it. It helps me anyway for my
Okay.
visual line.
Can you guys see?
Hmm.
Okay, so from the main web page, you're going to go right here to students. As you can see, under current, we have financial aid, instructional departments, registration, and then scholarships. So if you click on award screen, you'll sign in. If you've not set up an account, there is a way to set your password if you're a first-time user, as you can see. Once you've set up, you'll go through a questionnaire. That questionnaire will ask you specific questions like, sorry, I was reading Jen's
Nope,
response.
keep
Um,
going,
my brain
and
was
then I'll take care of this.
okay, good. So you'll go through a series of questions that'll ask you different things like where you graduated from high school. Do any of your family members work at certain places? Do you work at certain places? And it has a long laundry list of things. Are you a member of certain clubs or organizations? Um, i- are you a single parent? Do you come from a single parent household? There's like a ton of different questions. And then what happens is it does its little magic doodiggy and it says, okay, you qualify for these scholarships. We're going to apply for you. They automatically apply for you any scholarships that meet the criteria that you answered those questions to. So it's like, you don't have to do anything else. From that point, you've already been applied to the scholarships that you qualify for. And then from there, at the end of February is when they will close them for the 25-26 academic year. They'll review all the applications, and then from there, they'll make their decisions. I don't know how they make their decisions. We're not a part of that. That is the foundation that makes those decisions. I know that if you do not have a financial aid record on file, typically you would not be awarded. It just depends on the scholarship itself.
Yeah, and there's some specific ones. I know the questionnaire is probably the easiest I've ever seen it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
very
trying to go through
straightforward.
it. And it really I'm not gonna lie. So here's my thing. I take classes because, I'm still trying to grow. And I haven't figured
I do
out what I
too.
want to be when I'm gonna grow up. And so
There
I
you go.
applied for one. I got it. The process was super easy. Answer the questions.
Yep.
And then later on they'll let if you got one and you get it, and it's
And I mean,
super easy.
there's some of them that are as little as $150, and there's others that are a couple of $1,000. And honestly, some of them will just cover your books. But when you're a hardworking student, that $150 to pay for your books it goes a long way.
Yeah.
So I always tell people apply for everything that you can get your hands on because free money is better than having to pay back loans any day of
And
the week.
and also a lot of the programs have materials that you might have to purchase depending on what program you're in.
Yes.
So either uniforms sometimes or some sort of scrubs or like culinary coats, materials for your classes that may be beyond. Even like art classes, you might have to purchase things that you might not
Mm-hmm.
think about that are specific to the course, and that might be really helpful for you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, great question. So if you've joined us recently and you have any questions about financial aid, your FAFSA, financial assistance of any kind, as well as including to like veteran services, um, anything like that, that's what we're answering. We're trying to help you guys as much as we can to make sure that, if you have any questions that we help you. I see a hand up. You can either type it in or you could, let us, yeah, go ahead and type it in and let us know what your question is. Can you type it in for us? Um, this is Pragya. Hello. Can you go ahead, Pragya? And I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly. If you have a question, please go ahead and type it into the chat and we will go ahead and answer it for you. Let's see. Important things. We're going to be tomorrow. We're going to have a similar conversation with our tutoring staff. That's going to be at 1 p.m. You're welcome to join us during that time so you can meet all the places at CTC that you can get tutoring and help for your classes. That is super key, super important. And I hope that all of you participate as well. I want to also, I'm going to share my screen briefly.
The tutoring here is amazing. Like, I love our writing lab where we can send off our papers and have them check them for, errors, etc. I'm in my master's program. I still do that so that I can get advice and feedback.
Yes. So let's see here. You guys should see it on the main web page right here. Let's see this one, welcome weeks. We have a whole bunch of events, including what we're doing right now. So we have help going on along the way. Oh, this one said she didn't change the date. Tomorrow we're doing, no, we did this morning to help. Later, this is what we're doing right now. Tomorrow we're doing the CTC live tutoring. And so that's where they're going to talk about all the services to make sure that you're successful at the college. Then next week on Tuesday, we're going to be doing professionalism, and that's going to be from our career services on some things that can help our students in some of the services that they have to offer. Then in our student lounge and the second floor, we have our academic studio. They're going to have their Fishing for Success event. This is the Cocoa Coffee Bar. That is what Stacy and Jennifer were talking about, that they're going to be having a cocoa and coffee bar in their building, which is Student Services Building 215, room 208. The library is going to have a ton of activities and things going on the next Wednesday, the 22nd, as well as our disability support services. They're going to have their bingo. We are going to have the back to school opener, meet your mental health colleague counselors. That's going to be on Wednesday, the 22nd. And then the belle of the ball for me is our welcome back bash on January 23rd. Strongly encourage you to go. If you're here locally in Texas, we're going to have a lot of services for our students. You're going to be able to meet people from a lot of departments, whether they be academic or services to you. And we're going to have a lot of fun we're going to have music, games, prizes, and a lot of fun. So please join us for all of these events. We made them for you. This is so that you guys can be successful and hopefully have fun in the process as well. And always meet us. I'm going to put personally my contact information here in the chat. I am a resource to you because even though I cannot answer directly your financial aid question, I will know, hey, it has to do with FAFSA. I'm going to talk to Stacy about it. She's going to tell me, do we just send it to you? Or, is there something I can answer for you? Or if it's a VA question, I'm not going to know, but I'll be like, hey, Jen, help. And we've done that a lot. So it's really about making those connections, meeting the people that can help answer those questions for you. And also participating in things like right now, you have two individuals that are normally super busy and not able to take a lot of time to talk to you, but they're taking it because it's important that you know all the resources available to you, including how to get their services and who to talk to when you need financial aid, federal assistance, scholarships, things of that nature. And Stacy, can you talk a little bit about, you do have some other resources, not just FAFSA, that occasionally you're able to give out to students, right?
Yes, unfortunately, we've given out all the funding for our additional grants for the rest of this term. We have what's called the Texas Education Opportunity Grant, typically, and we also have what's called CTC Set Aside. The Texas Education Opportunity Grant is a grant that's through the state of Texas. We have actually exhausted all of our funding for that this year, and the CTC Set Aside has also been exhausted as of right now. And that is a grant that is through CTC itself. So those are a first come, first serve kind of grants. So typically we start handing those out in the fall, and then anything that we have left over, we hand out in the spring. And unfortunately, as of yesterday, we have exhausted all of those funds and given them out. Now, that's not to say that those students that were awarded this semester won't lose them for summer, and we may have some funds available in the summer, but as of right now for spring, we have none.
Yep. But that also means that you need to be on the lookout for stuff because we are sometimes able to assist, give you information, um, and it could go beyond what you think. Sometimes that money or those funds may come up out of nowhere, and so it's good to be in contact with with these offices, know what's going on so that you can get the most assistance
Have
possible.
access to your student email address because that is where we're going to send any kind of offers, availability, things like that that might come up if you've been selected to possibly receive an additional grant. That's where we're going to send that email. So it's very, very important that you have access to your CTC email. That is also where we're going to send out your email that tells you you've been approved for financial aid or any financial aid updates, anything along those lines. Um, they're going to go directly to your CTC email address because that is how we communicate with you.
Yes. So make sure that if does that who here does everybody there's a way here, and I'm gonna kind of play a game with y'all because this is kind of boring right now, and there's a way that you can react. I don't know if everybody can see it, but if you could react a like thumbs up if you know how to access your Eagle Mail, or a surprised, oh no, I don't, if you do not know how to access your Eagle Mail. Is this something y'all can do? Come on, show me. Can y'all show me yay? Like this is me doing my yay. Can, can you all see it in the screen? Can you give me that? Is that possible for y'all? Do you know how to do that? Emma, Arlena, can you just show me? See, if I see your face, it's so much easier, like a thumbs up or a thumbs down for you. Yes, you know how to get your Eagle Mail. Thank you. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Yes. It's really important that you guys are checking your Eagle Mail. If you don't know how to access it, um, go to the website and there is a place with IT that they can help you. Make sure that you're accessing it. That's the main way we're going to contact with you. Oh, hey, Pragia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but welcome. Yeah, I said it right. Yay. Okay. And you know how to get your Eagle Mail, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Did you have any questions? Because I know at one point you had your hands up, and I haven't seen you ask anything specific, but I want to make sure that you got your stuff squared away. Oh, wait, you can't talk, but you can't chat. You no. Do you want to talk? Do you have a question? Wait, I'm gonna allow you to talk because I have it so people can't talk. So now you can unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah, hi.
So did you
Oh,
have a
I have,
question?
yeah, I have a question about financial aids. Like, if I applied right now, then will my this spring semester covers it, or it's for the summer or fall one?
If you apply for financial aid now, it would be for the 24-25 academic year. Both the 24-25 and the 25-26 are out there. I strongly recommend filling out both of them so that they're done and completed. The sooner the better. We would process it as it came in. If we needed any further documentation, again, we would send information to that student email address. But as long as we got you in the spring semester, we would process you and you would get funding during the spring if you qualified.
Okay, so I need to fill out like 24-25 and 25-26 both.
Yep. Because the
Okay.
24-25 is the academic year that we are in currently. The 25-26
Mm-hmm.
is the academic year for next year
Okay.
that
Starting
starts in
in
August.
August.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Ah, I
A-
got you.
And financial aid FAFSAs are processed in the order in which they were received. So if you go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and you fill out your 25-26, when we start pulling those in later this year, the sooner they get done, the sooner we get them processed.
So for 24-25, what's the deadline? Do it have any deadline or something?
For the spring, it was October 1st to guarantee that you had funding for the spring. However,
Okay.
we'll still process you when it comes
Mm-hmm.
in. You wouldn't get funds for any fall classes that you took, but
Mm-hmm.
if we get you finished in the spring, you would get funding for those spring classes as long as you qualified.
Okay. Sounds
Mhm.
good.
Yep,
That's my question. It's all right. Thank you.
you're
Yeah.
welcome.
And part of it is, and I want to make sure that you understand, and correct me, Stacy, if I'm wrong. So if you're already in your classes, does it cover all of spring once she processes it, or would it be for anything she registers after she's been approved?
It would cover anything that she is enrolled in for spring. So if she enrolled and she gets herself on a payment plan and she's in 12 credit hours and she qualifies for full Pell, we will disperse those full Pell.
Okay.
Yep.
So I have one TSI class, so it's about like it's calculated at 12 credit, right? The TSI credit will also be calculated. The developmental
It's
classes.
based off of the amount of credit hours each class is. So
Okay.
if you're in like a math class, that's going to be 4 credit hours.
We have some
So
3.
Do we have some three?
I
Three, I think it's
I
3 or
have been
4,
enrolled
depending on.
in like 3 classes with 3 credit and one developmental classes with four
You can look on
credits.
your Eagle self-service under your student finance section and it will tell you exactly how many credit hours each class is.
Yeah, I know
Also,
I have taken like 19, 11, 12, 13 credit, but
yeah.
one is developmental one.
So the way financial aid works is we pay by the credit hour up to 12 credit hours,
Okay.
as long as you qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Also, quick tip. So if the class number, for example, if it's English 1301, that
Mm-hmm.
3, that's what that second number in the 1301, that tells you what the credits are.
Okay.
So if there is out there, I don't know if we still offer it, but back in the day we had a math 1314, and then we also had a math 1414. One was 3
Mm-hmm.
credits and one was 4. It was almost the class was almost the same thing. It was,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a slight difference in terms of some things, so then that's why it had the extra credit. So it had an additional component, like almost like a lab. So
Oh,
but if you ever need to figure out how many credits your class has, you can
mm-hmm.
also look at that second number in that, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a 4 digits, the second digit of the full number, that is the credit hours that you have.
Okay.
We have something here, I think. Let me see, how long does it take for my veteran benefits to get processed? I already have them and submitted them to the school. And I know Jennifer, I think,
I did answer
answered.
it. So I know we have people kind of coming and going. So
Mhm.
currently we are processing. It's about 5 to 6 business days. And this kind of goes with what Mariceli was saying earlier. We're really trying to encourage our students to register for their classes sooner, earlier. And in doing that, we're also trying to encourage you guys to, if you're utilizing veterans benefits, to do your VECs, just kind of make it part of your class registration process, because we're running into something that the staff that's currently here hasn't really seen since we've all been here, where we have a very large influx. I'm talking over 100 VECs coming in every day. So it's it's gotten us a little bit behind, and that's why we try to encourage you guys to do those VECs as early as possible to try to prevent this. The earlier you guys get them done, the quicker we can process them, and you're not going to be, worrying about bumping into your start dates or anything. What was the other question? That is a financial aid question. So I'm going to go ahead and let you answer that there, Stacy.
I did.
So
I did. I did.
the next question has to do
Okay.
with submitted their FAFSA. Now the FAFSA is requiring additional. Now the financial aid department is requiring additional information and documentation for some reason, and that happens a lot, doesn't it,
It does.
Stacy?
It does. We get people that are slapped with verification forms and citizenship requirements and all kinds of other fun things that we've got to check for Department of Education to say, yes, we can give them funding. Typically, once we get all of your documentation in, it's taking about 1 to 2 weeks for us to process. I'm not guaranteeing that because you've got all your documentation in that we'll have you finished in those 2 weeks, because again, we are inundated with students currently because they've waited last minute to get all of their stuff in and they're needing those funds for spring. So we're trying to get everybody processed as quickly as possible. So if you don't hear anything within a week to 2 weeks, send an email, give us a call, and find out what's going on with your file.
Yep, and that's just something that unfortunately happens, and that's why we always encourage you to do it sooner. The sooner the better, because this is not CTC asking for this, by the way. It looks like it is, but it really isn't CTC. It's the
Yeah,
Department of Education, isn't it?
that right there. Yes. We are upheld to a higher power, which is the Department of Education. And anybody who has dealt with the federal government can attest they have a lot of rules and regulations that we have to follow. And if we don't follow those, we get in trouble. So when we're asking for documentation, where we're requiring you to submit your taxes or your divorce paperwork or child support or anything else that we're asking you to submit, that's because the Department of Education has said we need this information in order for us to finish processing you. And without it, we can't award you funds.
Trust me, if it was up to us, we'd just hand it out. I know it would be so much easier for us.
I'd be standing on the corner handing out $100 bills. Here you go. Go.
Just click a button and everybody's
go.
done.
Just give all that money out. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Make it rain, right?
Yep. I'd be over on Jen's corner getting her money, but I mean, still.
Something. But yes, let's see. Any other questions? You guys have been doing great with the questions. Please, please, please continue to bring them in. If you have anything else that maybe you have questions about financial aid, veteran services, scholarships, anything like that, you have been really good at asking these questions. I'm really happy that we've had the opportunity to answer them, but please let us know so that we can go ahead and help you. If you have anything else that maybe we haven't addressed at this time, please let us know. Let's see, I see some people typing it. That's great. As a reminder, we're here to help you be successful at Central Texas College and beyond, right? So hopefully, no matter what it is, we can help you, guide you through, so that hopefully once you graduate, which is our ultimate goal. One of my favorite times is graduation. I always look forward to our students walking to get their diplomas and the excitement in the air, the families coming, and even and I've seen some amazing stories of individuals that even didn't have family and ended up being able to make it work. And it's the ultimate goal for all of us to see that you have made it happen. Let's see. I just don't understand because I'm taking classes for English that I didn't pass my TSI, so would my VA benefits pay for the semester still even? Okay. I think
the question is, will they still cover their developmental classes?
So as far as VA goes, your developmental classes will be covered if they're required and they're in person. So that's one thing that they will not cover the online developmental classes, and that's because the developmental classes are like a tutoring, almost like an extra time that you can spend on the subject and everything, and the VA just sees that that's better done face to face in person. There's a higher success rate with that. So they will not cover the online developmentals, but they'll cover face to face as long as it's part of your degree plan, like it's stated on there what you have to take. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't. They will not let us cover them if they're online.
so. This is where financial aid might, right?
Yes,
Stacey?
financial aid covers developmental classes as long as it's a requirement. Yes. So the way it works is whatever classes you need. I took 3 developmental math classes for mine, and they were listed on my degree program. And I also I'm with the VI on this one, taking them on campus, and I still barely passed my algebra, by the way. So that should tell you, Stacy's not good with math. Um, English, no problem. My math, we won't even talk about that. Which is kind of funny because I work in financial stuff. So 1 + 1 = 2, I swear.
We have an Excel
Um,
spreadsheet for that.
there you go. Exactly. It has all of the stuff programmed in. I just have to click a button and it does all the work for me. Yes. So if you qualify for Pell Grant, you qualify for student loans, those funds will cover your developmental classes.
So this is where we got to get creative, guys, a little bit.
Pell Grant is federal funding through the federal government. That's that studentaid.gov website that we talked about earlier. So you go to studentaid.gov. There is the 24-25, which is the current academic year that we are in, and there is the 25-26, which will be the next academic year. You can apply through there. It's free federal grant through the federal government. If you qualify, then we would award you funds here at CTC for those classes, and they would get dispersed to your student account and hopefully pay for the class. Let me see if I can get the website again, because I know we put it up there. There we go.
So sometimes that is another thing that we'd like to mention, that you can also, if you're using VA, you can also apply to see if you qualify for Pell Grant.
Yes.
And this is one of those instances where you might need to have both, because the VA might cover
Yes.
one part, but then you might need the other part to be covered by either Pell Grant or a scholarship or something along those lines. These are the instances where having that other pot of gold or pot of money coming in might help you.
Well, and here's something else, because we've talked about this before, Mariceli, where if your income has changed 25% or more from the time that those taxes, so for the 24-25 academic year FAFSA, we're requiring the 2022 taxes. If your income has went down 25% or more from the time you filed those 2022 taxes, and we finish your file and you didn't qualify for anything, you can request what's called a special circumstance form to submit to us. So if, for instance, you lost your job, or somebody's on unemployment now, somebody's now on disability, somebody's retired and no longer working, different things like that that would cause your income to decrease 25% or more from the time that you filed those taxes back in 2022, I would recommend, once we finish processing your file, to submit a special circumstance form. And you're going to have to submit more documentation for that purpose, but it may qualify for you to get more financial aid or financial aid at all. No, once the funds are dispersed over your student account, any remaining money can be used at the bookstore for books. And then 30 days after classes start date is when the business office tells us they start processing those refunds for any funds left over that go directly to the student. That's why we recommend that you sign up on your Eagle Self-Service for direct deposit, and put a checking or savings account on there. So your income from 2024, it's actually the 2023 taxes that they're going to use for the 25-26. So if your income changed from 2023 to to the 25-26. Once we finish processing your 25-26, you can submit that special circumstance form. We have to finish processing your file before you can submit a special circumstance form. You're muted, Mariceli.
Gosh darn it. Okay, so I'm just saying, if your income has changed during 2024 and you apply for the 25-26 after that's processed, then they definitely have to go ahead and submit additional paperwork so that way you can consider it and send it to the Department of Education and show them
Yep.
that there was a change in income into the family.
Yeah, and what we do is we take all the documentation that you submit and we compare it to what was submitted on the FAFSA, and we make a determination as to whether or not you would qualify under that special circumstance form for us to readjust.
Let's see. Trying to some more people still having questions. See, I'm hoping that y'all, I'm really happy that y'all are getting your answers questions. Yeah, and honestly, Ariel, that is why we do this. We give you all the opportunity. The Department of Education just didn't want you to wait for your taxes to come in before they ask you for everything, because sometimes y'all don't have enough time to do all that. But honestly, if there's a big change and you know, hey, back then I was here and now I'm here, this is exactly why we
Well, and
need to
that's
have a
just like
conversation.
if you know, say in 2020, for example, for the 24-25 academic year, if in 2022 you were married and you had two people in the household and you were bringing in double the income, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and now it's just you making the money and you're divorced, et cetera, that is a change. And we need to be able to adjust for that. And so, again, the possibility of submitting that special circumstance form if big changes have happened between in your income, like I said, 25% or more reduction, that I would strongly recommend submitting a special circumstance form. And we count all income when it comes to that. At the time that you filed your FAFSA, did you already have that kid? Because they count that into it. So they already adjust for that.
Because that is a question on the form
Yep.
in the FAFSA. That is a question. So they're taking that into consideration.
Yes.
They'll see
It
that
does.
2 years
Yeah.
ago you had, for example, 3 kids,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you had, now I have 4, they'll adjust.
Yes, it'll automatically do that through the system. So when you put in there, so one of the questions is has the, I think it's has your number in household, is the number of the household the same as the number on your taxes? And if you select no, it'll ask you how many people are in your household at that point, I think is what the question is. I don't quote me on that. It could be something else that it states, but yeah, it generally asks you, is the same number of in your household from your 2022 taxes the same now? And if you answered yes or no, then it'll ask you further questions. It'll also ask you at the end of it, I do believe, how many people are in your household. So again, it'll take that into effect. Okay, and so then let's see.
Yeah.
If your income will change soon, once your income changes, then you would submit that special circumstance form and we might be able to adjust it at that point. And it's a long list of items that we require for the special circumstance form. So you have like a big checklist for us to get information. So like, for example, I think one of them is if you are on disability, we have to request that information. I think another one is if you're on workman's comp, we have to ask for that information. If you are on unemployment, we have to ask for that information. We typically request like a letter from your previous employer stating when your last day of work was, those kind of things.
All right, let's see. Any other questions? Because our time is almost up. So if you have anything else, well, I already got my 5-minute mark of, hey, we're almost done. So
You're almost
please,
out of time.
you're almost out of time. So let us know if there's anything else because yeah, this has been great. This has been really, really good, guys.
Yeah.
Very timely. We're hoping that this is actually that you feel like you're getting your questions answered. And this is a really great way of doing it because your question might help somebody else too. Okay. Okay, let's see. Again, we're taking our last questions for financial aid and VA. If you have anything else, please let us know. We will go ahead and address it. I see somebody typing, which is a good thing. Let's see.
And we also all put our emails in the chat. So if you guys think of something later today, tomorrow, next week, next month, feel free to reach back out to us and we will get back with you. I know at least for us, email is the best way right now to get a hold of us.
Yeah, is your phone ringing off the hook like mine's been ringing off the hook all the last 2 weeks?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. Rashonda, this is for, oh no, we answered that, right?
So the 25-26 is out there. Currently, we're under the 24-25. I just recommend that you fill out both if you're planning on attending college for both years. Because all colleges work on a first come, first serve basis. So even if you're not planning on attending at CTC and you plan on going to, say, Texas A&M or UT or Baylor, whatever the case may be, you can go ahead and send that to whatever colleges you're planning on attending, up to, I think, 20. And then once you decide what college you want to go to, then all you have to do is apply for that college.
And code it in your
Yes.
FAFSA.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Make sure you guys always are coding it because
Yeah.
if you don't put the school code in, we won't know.
Yeah. That right there. The student aid index is based off of everything that you put on the FAFSA. It's used to determine how much financial aid you are eligible for.
And it had not been asked already.
Nope, hadn't been.
Great question. Great
That
question.
is. Mm-hmm.
Arlena, I just want you to know you've been giving me life. Thank you for sharing the screen because it really is. We always like to see a face. Okay, you're doing something.
She's
Wait, I
doing
can't hear.
schoolwork
Doing homework.
while she's listening. I get it. It's okay.
But that's okay. I'm living for it because you're still getting some information. So thank you, thank you. But we also enjoy having a face. So I just want you to know that, and we appreciate it.
Yes, typically the lower the number, the more you qualify for. But until we get your FAFSA in and we process it, we can't guarantee whatever the Department of Education tells you. So the Department of Education, it processes you automatically there in their little Speedy Gonzales way. And then what happens is we get your FAFSA in, and after they finish processing it, and we are the ones who make the determination based off of all the factors that are involved on your FAFSA. If everything is accurate, great, fantastic. We don't have to do anything else. If we find an error, then we have to make the correction, and it may increase your financial aid, or it could decrease the financial aid that the Department of Education tells you.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Oh, Jason still has questions. Okay. If
Mhm.
I'm not sure if we're going to get cut off, but if we do, please go ahead and reach out to us. If for some reason you guys get cut off, this is the first time we're using this platform to do this, so we're working on
We
this.
are the error checkers. That's our job. That's
Same
literally
with
our job.
VA.
Yep.
Same with VA. We're the error
We are the error
checkers.
checkers.
We're here for
That's why
you.
it gets sent to us so that we can check for errors.
I feel like we're all just like watching the bubbles.
I know. We're like,
No, but it's good. It's good. Jason's got questions. We have
I love it.
answers.
And as long as it doesn't cut us off, we're still here for it.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, no, Jason, you're
Perfect.
in.
Yeah,
We're
no problem.
good.
You're good. You're good. New questions are always helpful, and it helps other students that may not have thought of those questions.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's we are that's what we get paid to do. And that's literally what the Department of Education has us do is check for errors on their part.
We're like the Grammarly of CTC.
There you go, right there.
That is a great way of saying it, by the
Well, and
way.
I mean, a prime example of a Department of Education messing up is the whole Pell issue that we had earlier, where they caused a glitch in the system all across the nation where it zeroed out a bunch of people's Pell offers. So, Department of Education is not infallible, people. I'm just going to tell you that now. They are not infallible. They're a government entity. And as we all know, federal government is not always doing what they should be doing.
No kidding. It's okay. It's okay. But that's why they made a mistake, but guess who's fixing it? Stacy. So
Yeah.
that's part of the reason we had all this whole mess. I know a lot of people are like,
Mhm.
"Where's my money? You messed it up."
Wasn't us. I swear it wasn't us. And what happened was their system caused a glitch in our system, and then once we fixed our side of things, we had no way of resetting everybody. So we have to go in and manually reset everyone. And there were a lot of students that were affected. So I'm still fixing people. Thank you, Department of Ed.
Mhm. It's okay. We're still here for y'all.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to figure out, we're constantly trying to figure out new ways to help you be successful as a student here. And that's why the feedback comes in.
Yes.
Um, we will listen to complaints, but feedback is better. Hey, that didn't go well for me. If you can help us figure out how to do that, that would be amazing. There's a way. There's a way. But we need all of it because if we don't know what's wrong, if we don't know what's going on your end, like Stacy may have done something and she thinks she fixed it, but maybe she didn't. That's the only way we find out is because you guys are like, hey,
Yep.
you
Because we're
forgot
all
to tell
human and we
us.
all make mistakes. I can attest to that one.
Mhm.
I had one
So,
guy that I thought I fixed, and apparently I hit cancel all instead of save all, and then I had to go back in and fix it again.
Oh
So,
no.
yes, because Stacy's little finger went click, click, click too fast.
but
Trying to
it's
fix
okay.
people. Been a little crazy.
Just a
Hmm.
little.
Hmm.
Just a wee bit. We hit the
Mm-hmm.
ground running last Monday. I'm telling you what.
I
And
felt a little
then there was
bad.
a wall.
I felt like I was on a treadmill all last week and I was not getting anywhere. We're like swimming in the deep end. And I was sinking real quick. That one.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay. What else? Anybody else? Are we good, guys? Well, thank you. We really do appreciate you being here. You had amazing questions. This was super interactive. Thank you very much for doing this because it really helps us to feel like, when we have somebody asking questions, makes the time go by way faster, much more fun for us on our end too. So thank you again. Extra shout out to Arlena. You're my girl. You made me happy today. You just gave it that little sparkle. So thank you. Thank you.
Looking
We
fabulously
love
comfortable where you're at too.
I know. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Thank you guys. We really do appreciate you being here. Hopefully, you learned something. And please come check out the rest of the events. There, you can actually find them just off of the CTC website. Um, it's got all the ways that you can join us and links and everything like that. So please come check it out, and maybe you'll learn something else that can help you along the way. If nothing else, make that connection with one of us. So that
Yes,
way, if
come to the coffee bar and hot cocoa social we're having next week on the 22nd from 9 to 11 here at the CTC 215. We're building 215, right? I
Yes, we're
always
building
forget because
215.
they
It'll be in the
renumbered us.
lobby upstairs, and our testing department's going to be providing cookies too. So,
Ooh,
look at
yep.
nice.
that. All right,
And I'm
guys.
hoping to have somebody from financial aid up there rotating so that people can meet some of our advisors and our staff so that we can interact with some students too.
And I'll be there.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time and you found this helpful, and have a great semester. Guys, that was amazing.
That was awesome.
So,
I
is
think
this
that's the
the
most
first time
interaction we've
you've?
had.
Yeah, is this the first time you've used the Teams?
Okay. So, yes. But I was trying to stream.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
That part didn't
Because
work.
usually we do WebEx, right? Or am I mistaken? Okay.
But web